welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with the USA IDA. I'm Colleen Quigley Carey, and today I have two very special guests with me. I have USA IDA teacher Patrick Quinlivan from Lynn Academy. Hi, Patrick.
Hello, how's it
And
going?
we're very excited to welcome Scott Leonard, Director of Pocono Springs Camp. Hi, Scott.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your busy
Of course.
schedule because from what I've heard and in talking with you a little bit before we started the filming, you're very busy down there right now.
Yeah, families and kids want camp more than ever this summer after the last year and a half. So we are busy, and we're moving up the camp next week with our full-time team to start getting the property ready, getting the lake and pool ready for a big season ahead. So we're getting excited.
That's awesome. That's great. So today we actually have a lot of questions from parents and dancers that you sent in to us beforehand. So we're going to try to cover everything, every topic. But before we get into that, I do want to say that your teacher should have at this point sent out or does have the information in a very comprehensive packet all about camp. It has all information regarding COVID protocol, regarding food choices, regarding how bunks are put together, regarding the dates that you need to send in your registration form and payment, all of that good stuff. So for any of questions that we don't cover here, you will have that in your registration packet that your teachers have. Additionally, you can go to www.poconospringscamp.com. You can see all of the COVID safety protocols they have at the camp right now, in addition to taking a virtual tour, which I did earlier today, and it looks awesome. I want to go to camp, just saying that, everybody. So when you have me, as you know, a 39 and holding camper, you will know it's me. All right, so let's get into it with some of these questions. First of all, I have a question for you, Scott. Will there be any other camps at the Pocono Springs camp facilities while our group is there? And our dates are, I believe, Wednesday, August 18th to Sunday, August 22nd.
No, there will be no other groups. You have an exclusive run on the property. It's all yours.
That's
And
awesome because there's nothing like a group of dancers and teachers taking over a property. There's going to be jumping all over the place.
yeah, we're definitely limiting our groups to kind of one group on property at a time. We don't want any mixing. We don't know where other groups are coming from, different areas, especially with COVID, protocols. So
That's great.
yeah.
So another question we had from a parent was, who is the camp director? So we already know that that's Scott. He took the time out of his schedule to meet with us, so he is here for anything. Additionally, they were wondering who the USA IDA main contact person for the camp would be. So Patrick, where could parents get all that information from? Where should they go to with any questions, concerns, anything like that?
Yeah, any question that you have, you can direct it towards your teacher. And even if they don't know the answer, they can get back to you. We've done these camps before, so we have all the answers. So if any question about who's running the camp or anything like that, definitely talk to your teacher.
Excellent. All right, here's another question for you, Scott. What is security like at the camp?
Yeah, so there's only one entrance into and out of the property, and that gate is kind of only open and available during the day. We also have a number of cameras all over the property, and our Pocono Springs staff. There's gonna be a big team up there, probably around 30 to 35 team members who are all in Pocono Springs staff shirts. Have a pretty good run on the property. We know who belongs in camp and who doesn't. So we'll be working with your team to just know who's supposed to be on property. But yeah, we have a good run on the facility.
That's great. And now, Patrick, we were also talking a little bit beforehand that many dance teachers will be attending the dance camp, and that there would be a dance teacher staying in every cabin with a group of dancers. And we'll get into that in a little bit more. But right now, as we're trying to anticipate the numbers that are coming in as far as how many dancers are registering, we had a parent who reached out to find out what the total capacity of dancers that we can bring in this year would be, and then how many teachers to dancers there would be once we figure out how many are attending.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So the actual, student to teacher ratio will depend on the actual numbers and stuff like that. But based on our previous experience, we had, I think it was about 5 to 6 teachers last or 2 years ago when we had about 50 to 60 students. So my expectation is it'll probably be somewhere similar, somewhere about, 10 to 15 students per teacher ratio. So,
Excellent.
and of course, a teacher will be, with the kids at all times, and no kid is going to be running off by themselves to go do any activity.
Yes, I think that's something that's very important, is that nobody can multitask like an Irish dance parent, and nobody can multitask like an Irish dance teacher. So I know myself, I have participated in dance camps before, as a teacher on the premises. And I do know that it is always top priority to make sure that the health and safety and well-being of the kids that are in our care, is taken care of. So I do know that we will ensure that there will be a healthy student to teacher ratio when we have our final numbers in. So I know that we'll be working hard on that. Now, something one of the kids asked for us, Scott, was, what's the food like? What are our
Food's
options?
great. The food, we obviously are summer camps. We serve, so we're not doing steak and lobster, but we are doing a kid-friendly menu. We'll save that for the parent camp. But yeah, we have a barbecue planned, hot dogs, hamburgers, barbecue chicken. We have a pizza night. We have a taco night. We have lots of different options. We always have extensive salad bars for lunch and dinner. Lots of different items for breakfast. One hot item might be French toast sticks. Another morning might be pancakes. But we do have a bagel bar out, assorted cereals, fresh fruit, hard-boiled eggs, yogurt, granola each morning. Fresh fruit available all day, and yeah, meatball heroes.
Oh,
We got a pretty full menu. You're going to be here for 4 or 5 days, so it's
you had me at
food
French
service
toast
is
sticks.
a
I
big part of this.
mean,
Food has to be good at camp.
absolutely.
So this is
Especially,
not camp from back in the day on TV.
well, honestly, I think our campers, obviously, we always have a focus on healthy nutrition that will fuel their bodies the best, they possibly can, for all the great activities they do. That being said, these are kids. And everybody, all ages of dancers, I believe from 7 on up, right, Patrick, is invited to attend the camp as a daily camper. So a lot of these food choices, um, are really up their alley. But also, we have that fruit that you said we have available all day. Obviously, there's going to be lots of water being drunk as well. We will make sure that your children are eating appropriately, and also having fun and treating
Yeah,
themselves because they're
we
kids.
we always cater to we do a good job catering to any vegans, vegetarians, gluten free, and we are a nut aware facility, so we don't serve anything with nuts as well.
That's awesome. And of
And
course,
at Pocono Springs, if it's a vegan, doesn't mean just go to the salad bar each meal. We're really conscious of making kind of another meal that's in line to what the rest of the kids are eating, so everyone feels included.
that's great, because especially in this day and age, you have so many different types of different diets and dietary needs, and I really appreciate that. Um, I'm not a vegan, but I do love to do plant-based once in a while. So it's nice to know that if you're one of the teachers that goes and you decide, this week I'm going to do some really clean eating, you can. Shocker, you can do that. You can enjoy yourself and still do some nice, healthy, clean eating, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Another question from one of our dancers was, what are the bunks like? Are there bunk beds? And how many students would be in a cabin? So right before you get to that, Scott, I do want to say that we have different options for dancers attending the camp, right, Patrick? There is a daily option, a day camper option, where they do not need to stay on property, but they can attend the classes throughout the day, and they can also attend anything later in the evening, any activities. There's the overnight option, which they would be on the premises from that Wednesday at drop off to pick up on Sunday. And then also, if you have what we call a curious camper, on Friday, August 20th, they can choose to go to camp for that one day and try it out and see what it's like. Um, what were some of the ages that we were talking about for the different levels of camp, the day camper versus overnight?
Yeah, so we had talked about this for a while. We were thinking if a child was about 8, 7.5, or 8, they would probably be able to handle the overnight camp. And of course, that would depend on your child as well too. If you had any questions, I would talk to your teacher as well too. 2 years ago, we had a child there that was as young as 6 years old, but she also had a sibling there as well too. So
Right.
that kind of helps as well too. So about 7.5, 8, I think is about the youngest age that we would want for the overnight campers. And then younger than that is what we would recommend for the daily camp, or not necessarily staying overnight. Or perhaps if you're like a college student or something like that, and you're finishing something up, or if you have a sport going on that week, then you could come for just the days and stuff like that. And then the try it out one on the Friday, that would definitely be geared towards younger, probably more Bungrad, B, Bungrad C kids that are on the younger side as well too, that just want to try it for the day.
That's awesome. And also, for levels attending the camp, is this something appropriate for like a pre-bun grad, a bun grad A, or would you say bun grad B and up is best suited for?
I would say Bungrad B and up is probably what's most suited for the camp. There will be a fair bit of dancing, so if you're not if you don't have the legs yet for that, it might be kind of tough.
Now, as we are just speaking a total foreign language to Scott, I will bring back into the conversation about the bunks. So they're cabins, right? And I know that the question was, are there bunk beds, and like what's the situation? Like how many campers would go in a cabin? So can you give us a little bit of information on that?
Sure. So first of all, we redid all of our cabins about 5 years ago. So
Nice.
every cabin is brand new. The bathrooms are clean. It still has a traditional feel. So we have 4 bunk beds in each cabin in the corners of the cabins that campers can stay on if they like. I know there's always some special requests. We typically have 14 humans in a cabin. We're going to limit that capacity to about 50% this year. So about 7, so maybe six campers with one teacher in cabin. Each bathroom is attached to the bathroom, so they're not going to an outside kind of
Mhm.
bathhouse. So the bathrooms are attached. There's 2 private showers, 2 private stalls, and a double sink in the cabins. There's also ceiling fans, lots of windows for of course ventilation at all times this summer.
That's awesome. And there will be an adult in the room with them, one of the teachers, who is, just so you know, we are all vetted. We all take safety courses as well. That would be staying with your children in each cabin. And so they have the option of the bunk bed if they want to, and if they don't want to, there's a traditional bed for them as well, which is super great to know. Um, Here's a question for you guys. I know that we would be limiting the parents when they come in and come out for safety reasons this year. If adults are not really allowed to escort their dancers into the cabins, what would pick up and drop off look like to you? So, Patrick, I'll start with you. What's kind of the protocol of when you bring your child in for the week?
Yeah, so I'll say, because I've been there and I've done the camp, it's super fun as well too. The
Been there, done that. Wrote the book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the pickup and drop off area is really well marked. It's basically right as you pull in, you can go down like the driveway, and then there's a big drop off area, and then there's a big blacktop. So that's sort of the drop off area, and we're gonna have a whole team of teachers and assistants that are be there helping kids get to their cabins and stuff like that. So the way I think I anticipate it working is everyone will come in with their cars, they'll park, they'll take your stuff, you'll drop it off in the designated areas. We'll probably have which cabin they're in ahead of time, and you can drop all their stuff off right there, say goodbye and stuff like that. And then all the teacher and counselor that's in charge of that cabin will help the kids bring their stuff down to their cabins that way. So that's the way I envision it working. And then drop off will probably be the same way as well too. We'll probably have them in designated areas. All their stuff will be packed up right on that blacktop that you'll see right when you pull in, and you can go right back to your car.
For pickup, that would be great. So you're in, you're out. You got the kid in the car. You're getting ready for school. Whatever it is, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. One stop shopping. Love that.
Yeah, we
Also, the skills that kids have when they are, obviously there's going to be lots of adults helping them, but it is a really incredible thing for a kid who is 8, 9, 10 years old to start learning the skills of how to independently pack up their bags, get themselves to where they need to be, of course, again, under adult supervision. And I think that that's something that's really important, especially after this year and a half of kids not being able to really get out much. So I think it's going to be a really great opportunity for them to learn not just some great dancing, but also some really important life lessons. I'm sorry, Scott, it sounded like you wanted to add something into that.
No, I think I love your drop off. We typically for Pocono Springs camp have buses up to camp on opening day. But because of our COVID protocol, we're flipping the script this year and doing a parent drop off at camp. So any mistakes that we make on opening day, we'll make sure you guys are perfect, and you can learn from us because we'll be there with you. Yeah, our setup is actually perfect for a parent drop off at camp. And we'll also, anyone who has really heavy bags needs help, we have golf carts available that will help lug to the cabin. But
Oh, that's great. That's great. Golf carts, always a good thing. But Scott, seriously, our organization is really big on working together. So it sounds like this is just a great marriage between our groups and the camp, because that's what we love to do. We love working with other people and learning. So excellent. We will take all of those tips from you. All right, now let's get to some fun stuff. I'm a camper and I'm coming to camp. I get dropped off, put my stuff in. What does a typical day look like for me, Patrick? And then Scott, you can throw in some other the fun, cool after dance activities that they have. So what is a typical day for me going to look like?
Sure, absolutely. So it's a lot of fun. So first off, so I would say a typical day will usually start around 7:30, 8 o'clock. We'll start with breakfast. Everyone can wake up, um, you know, get dressed and stuff like that, and then we can go up to breakfast in the dining hall. Then we typically did a morning dance session, which lasted about 2 to 3 hours or so. Then we would break for lunch around 11:30 or 12, and then do lunch, and then after that we would have a afternoon dance session, which would be for another 2 to 3 hours. Then after that is when all the fun stuff starts. So around like.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to go back though, because I've heard some stuff about what you guys have done before in the dance section. So let me just circle back right there. So first of all, I think it's very important that everyone knows that there will be no associations created out of this dance camp between the various dance schools. So your dancer is not going to be working on their specific solo dances per se. They'll be doing a lot of fitness. They'll be doing a lot of potentially things like dread set. We may do some grade exams, which means that they would be prepping for their grades, and that if they did have to do any solo dancing, they'd be doing that separately with their own teachers from their own school, not as a group. And we also believe that we are going to be launching some cool performance routines, which we're really excited about. So that'll be super fun. Plus, I did hear something about Zumba and some other fun kind of outside of the box things that the kids do. So I just wanted to circle back on that because the dance part's super fun too, right? Me as the dancer. Yeah, okay.
The dance part is fun. So we always do like a warm up. We always have like a big warm up game that we play as well too, and then we have incorporated some other like fitness stuff as well too. And like you mentioned, like we won't, when we're as a big group, as a USA IDA group, like it won't be just like you're drilling your hornpipes and you're doing your sets and stuff like that. If a teacher wanted to bring you to the side and work on something, there's lots of other rooms and other buildings that you can go to work on that. But yeah, like you said, we'll be working on performance routines. We'll be working on getting ready for grade exams and stuff like that. And then in the past, we've also had guest teachers come as well too. So 2 years ago, we had Jason from Hammer Step came in and he did a whole Hammer Step workshop with everybody. And then we had a whole, video that came from camp as well too. So we plan on, cool. Bringing in some extra people from the outside to assist with that as well too. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you finish your dancing, which is super awesome fun. Okay. Yeah. And then it's time for like the camp stuff. So I already heard we had a barbecue situation set up, Scott. What are some other awesome things that the kids can do once their dance sessions are done for the day?
Yeah, so we'll have our rec area set up. So that's anything from our tennis courts, basketball courts, gaga balls, pretty popular in our gaga courts. The pool will be open with our Pocono Springs lifeguards, as well as boating in the lake with our Pocono Springs lifeguards. And when you're in the lake at camp, it doesn't matter if you're a beginning swimmer or an Olympian, you're in a life jacket, no matter
Mhm.
what.
That's
Uh,
great to know. That's
yeah,
very
yeah,
important to
beach
know. That's
volleyball.
excellent.
I mean, any go on our website. You name it, we've got it. In terms of the rec camp piece.
That's awesome. Definitely. I mean, honestly, like if you could just play some Lady Gaga songs during the Gaga Ball at the Gaga Ball court,
During the whole
I
tournament.
mean, that's
Yeah.
that's literally all I need in life. Like, let's be honest. But really, that sounds like so much fun. I really enjoyed looking. I've seen video from past camps of the kids on the boats, and I just have to say it's really amazing because our dancers at USAIDA, these kids work so hard day in day out at their Irish dancing. They work very hard in school. A lot of them play other sports, and it's really incredible to see them just be kids with no pressure of anything and just having so much fun. As I'm a mom, and being able to see them have that downtime is amazing. And another really important thing that we should add is that we are electronic free when we go to camp. Now, of course, the teachers will have the appropriate electronics that we need to teach dancing. We'll also have always on the teachers will always have their cell phones and any type of anything they need. But the dancers surrender their cell phones and any electronics at the start of camp, and they get it back on the last day. And I think that's very important to know. So, like for the 5 days that your kids are at camp, they are completely at camp. There is no social media. Instagram doesn't exist, Snapchat doesn't exist to them. And that small break, the mental health benefit of it for your kids, you may not realize how important that is. And of course, if you have any questions or concerns about that, you can speak to your dance teacher. If there's a situation where you must get in touch with your child, we will make sure that we have that all set up for you. So don't worry, you'll still be able to get in touch with your child if you need be. But we really do try to keep it an electronic free situation. There's still electricity. There's still, all sorts of electric things at the camp. It just they won't have their actual personal cell phones or anything like that.
Yeah, and Colleen, what I'll say is what we did last time is each of the teachers that was in charge of the cabins. The first day that I came around with a bag and I had everyone, put their phones into there. And then what I did was I texted all the parents and put them on a group chat just so that they had my number and stuff like that. And if for any, and then like all the teachers and counselors will have their phone on them at all times as well too. So if in case of an absolute emergency, you can get a hold of your teacher or counselor, and then you can get a hold of your kid that way. So, and then one thing I'll add is like even just that break from their electronic devices is amazing as well too. It's funny. It takes like 1 or 2 days for them to kind of get detached, and then after they're detached, you can just see how much happier the kids really are. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, highly recommend it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's nothing like being out in nature with your friends who all love an activity that you love. You have something that already links you together, and then you take away any pressure from being on social media, getting texts, anything like that, and all of a sudden these kids start connecting in a way that they may not have ever before, not from the time they were very young. So I know the benefits are fantastic. Um, Now, we've spoken a lot about like what the dancers are going to be doing during the camp. I know a lot of that is also dependent on the numbers and the different levels of everyone that comes in. But if you had to say to a parent what the benefits you felt for their dancer coming to the USA IDA summer camp at Pocono Springs Camp, from a dance teacher, Patrick, what would you say? And then I'm going to pose the same question to you, Scott, to close out our conversation. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I would say probably the biggest thing that, or the biggest benefit that a dancer gets is that it really revitalizes them towards the end of the summer, and it really gets them excited about like going back to class and getting back at it, going back to competitions and stuff like that. That's all our kids talk about in our school is, oh, when we got to do overnight camp. Who am I bunking with? Who am I doing this? Who am I doing this activity with? I'm ready for the pool. I'm ready for the trampoline, like stuff like that. So I think that is the biggest benefit that a dancer gets is it really revitalizes them. It really, helps them, realize their love of Irish dance and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I love that. I love that. And Scott, what do you think? What do you like as a camp director? What do you feel that the benefits for sending your kids to camp would be?
Yeah, I think this year more than ever, the social emotional benefit is going to be next level. And especially like Patrick said right before the school year, it's almost like going to be like almost like a hard reset on your computer when you restart your computer.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's going to be for kids again, to get them, splashing around a pool without a mask on, being kids, and then kind of resetting to some type of hopefully normalcy heading into 2021, 2022. And what I love about your program is the balance of the intense training that you do and you focus on, but then also allowing kids to just be kids for a little bit, and there's a really healthy balance. So
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
what
one thing I forgot to mention is every night we have a nightly activity as well too, which is super fun as well too. There was one night where we did like a dance for like pop music and stuff like that. Then we did a movie night one night, a kickball night one night. We did a casino night one night, which was like so much fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
if you want to find some competitive kids, you
Oh
came
my
to the right
gosh.
place. Oh my goodness, Irish dance kids.
So we have something planned for every night of the camp as well too, which will be a ton of fun.
Oh, that's hilarious. I can picture like a young fun grad like at the poker table right now with the intensity in their eyes, just like ready to go. Something that is really important before we close out is that we at USAIDA, Scott at Pocono Springs, are constantly checking and keeping up to date with the latest COVID protocols. So we cannot say right now what every single protocol would be. I do know that Pocono Springs has a very diligent cleaning schedule, very specific numbers limited in certain places. We will follow all of that. We will be following local guidance from Pennsylvania, where the camp is located. We will also be looking at all of the guidance from the states where the children will be traveling from. So please know that we cannot say right now what every single protocol is going to be when we get to August, but please do know that the health, safety, and well-being of your child is number one to us before anything else. And we will ensure that we stick to the most rigorous standards of safety at camp this year. So gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for joining us at Coffee Talk today. Is there anything else that I might have missed?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I would just remind everyone that early bird pricing for the camp is due by May 15th. The price is going to go up slightly if you try and book after that, but we have a PayPal link set up, and you can put in your deposit straight to there. And then if you have any other questions, yeah, definitely go to your teacher and ask them. So.
That's great. And don't forget to check out www.poconospringscamp.com, where you can check everything out right there. Start getting really excited, because in this time, it is so important for your kids to have things to look forward to. And think about this, you'd be giving them such a gift at the very, end of summer. They have the whole summer to do their thing, and they know they're going to have this time away at camp, which, just like Scott had said, just like Patrick had said, is a total reset as they start the new school year and kind of like our new normal. So that's it from us here at Coffee Talk. Thank you guys so much. We can't wait to see you all soon, and we can't wait to see you at camp. Bye.